Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on 1010 KSIR, as well as KSIR.com. This afternoon from Sunset Baseball Field in Brush, it's a Patriot League opener as the visiting Platte Valley Broncos take on the Brush Bead Diggers. I'm John Beltran. Now the Bead Diggers come into this game on a 2-game winning streak. They're 2-5 on the season. Overall, they are sitting again at 2-5, while Platte Valley is 6-2. We'll set the starting lineups here momentarily. A very, very windy day. We're as protected as possible, thanks to Abby and Sumner Rule. They have gotten me a pod, an under-the-weather pod. And this will really protect me and improve the quality of the broadcast, in fact, because when it's this windy, there's only so much you can do. All right, so the Bead Diggers will have a little bit of a revamped lineup. They do have their players back from the international club trip to Europe. They had an incredible time there. We'll set the Platte Valley lineup here for game number 9 for the Broncos and number 8 for the Brush Bead Diggers. And again, this is the Patriot League opener, and the only time they'll play Platte Valley this season. They've got matchups. They've got multiple matchups against other teams like Sterling, Strasburg, and Eaton, as well as the Valley Vikings. All right, batting first is the third baseman Eric Smith. Second baseman Brandon Curbs at second. The shortstop Ernesto Rios hits third. Pitcher David King is the cleanup hitter. Logan Wittick, the catcher, hits fifth. Hunter Thorne at first hits sixth. The center fielder Travis Hecht backs seventh. Colby Frias, the DH, hits eighth. And Joey Smith, the right fielder, bats ninth. For the Bead Diggers defensively, at first base is Bryson Wooldridge. David Wolf at second. The third baseman is Ben Garrett. Jade Queen is at short. Around the outfield, Josiah Henry in left. The center fielder is Justin Griffith. Carson Rule in right. Behind the plate is Colin Cole. And Gunnar Guzman is on the mound for the Bead Diggers. Game time temperature just under 50 degrees, but it feels a heck of a lot colder, I can tell you that. And that's because of this vicious wind. And it's just a theme of the season with all the wind. All right, stepping in will be Eric Smith, the left-handed hitting third baseman for Platte Valley.
Leading off the top of the first, number 2, Eric Smith.
So Smith from the left side. The Bead Diggers defeated Fort Morgan last Friday here, 7-5. And were victorious over Resurrection Christian, 13-7. And the pitch, it's in the dirt with a changeup. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 here to the opening hitter in the offering. In the dirt again. Yeah, Gunnar really struggled with his control in his last outing. It's 7 walks. So he's got to clean it up here. 2 balls and no strikes. Platte Valley is 7th in the RPI in 3A. The Bead Diggers are 28th. RPI just released today. Smith, Curbs, and Rios. Opening pitch brought to you by Buildings by Design. The experience to complete your project from start to finish. That fastball's right down the middle for a strike. It is ball 2 and strike 1 to Eric Smith. Here's the wine and offering, and that is in the dirt. 3-1. Yeah, the wind is a whipping. In fact, without my weight on this pod, it would fly away. The offering, and that is low with a changeup. It's a 5-pitch walk to Smith to begin the game, and that'll send up Brandon Curbs. Now, in this matchup 1 year ago, Platte Valley won at home by a score of 1-0. So Curbs stepping in from the right side. Short lead at first, and the pitch runner goes, and that's upstairs. The throw to second is going to be on line, but late. It'll be a stolen base for Smith. And Curbs up there with 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, he got a really good jump there. So Platte Valley already threatening 2 hitters into the game. 1 ball and no strikes. And the offering squaring to bunt high and inside. And Gunnar does not have any control right now, 2-0. He's thrown 7 pitches, only 1 for a strike. 2 balls and no strikes. Now, this is not easy to pitch in. These conditions are, I'm sure, very difficult to pitch in. And the 2-0 offering swung on and lifted towards left center field. And that is going to be caught out there by Josiah Henry, closing the gap in shallow left, and there's 1 down. That's a big pitch by Guzman just to get that out. Now he might have a confidence booster just off of the first out here.
Number 4, Ernesto Rios.
Here's Ernesto Rios for Platte Valley. He's the shortstop today. Another right-handed hitter. The stretch. And the offering. And that's a strike on the inside corner, belt high. It's 0-1. At second is Eric Smith. No balls and 1 strike. And the pitch swung on. That ball is lifted in the infield. The shortstop, or the center fielder, I should say, Justin Griffith is going to make the catch. I saw the body language of Jade Queen, but Griffith made the catch. That ball flew out a little bit further than I expected. 2 down. Well, it's a quality pitch there by Gunnar Guzman. He got in on the hands of the right-handed hitter.
Number 34, David King.
Here's the opposing pitcher, David King. The stretch by Gunnar. And the offering. And that's in a dirt. Nice block there by Colin Cole. Yeah, if you haven't used one of these weather pods, man, they keep you insulated. Plenty of zippers all over the place. Yeah, I feel like I'm in a plastic capsule. And a 1-0. And that's a strike. Runner going to third. The throw, the tag, and to third base is Eric Smith. Thrown out by Colin Cole as Ben Garrett applies the tag. And that does it here in the top of the first for Platte Valley. We head to the bottom of the first. The Bee Diggers are coming to bat. It's a 1-minute break. We're back in 1 minute on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. All right, let's head to the bottom of the first inning. And the Bee Diggers starting lineup, which is brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan, proud to be Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan, locations in Fort Morgan, Sterling, and Brush. Available 24/7 for your banking needs. That is Equitable Savings and Loan. All right, the Bee Diggers will be revamping their lineup throughout the course of this baseball game. Batting first is the center fielder Justin Griffith. The second hitter for Brush is Carson Rule, and he is playing right field. Batting third is Ben Garrett, the third baseman. Pitcher Gunnar Guzman's the cleanup hitter. Batting fifth is the catcher Colin Cole. Hunter Ludgate, the DH, at sixth. Bryson Wooldridge, the first baseman, bats seventh. The shortstop Jade Queen hits eighth, and Josiah Henry,
leading off the bottom of the
left
first
fielder,
inning,
bats ninth.
Number 2, Justin Griffith.
Griffith hitting .273 as he steps in for the Bee Diggers against the right-hander David King. Here's the wind and pitch. That fastball's a strike on the outside corner, belt high. Hunter Thornton at first, Brandon Curbs at second. The third baseman's Eric Smith, and Ernesto Rios at short. Jaron Albrighton is the left fielder, and the pitch swung on and fouled back. Travis Hecht center, Joey Smith in right, Logan Wittick behind the plate. No balls and 2 strikes here to Justin Griffith. The right-hander gets ready. Here's the wind and offering. Swung on and fouled back. And the count remains at 0-2. Still at 0-2 here to the opening hitter for Brush in the bottom of the first inning, Justin Griffith. And David King, the right-hander, delivers. And that is low and away. Tried to sneak the fastball in on there. Ball 1, strike 2. Here to Justin Griffith. And the pitch swung on and popped up on the left side of the infield. That ball is drifting towards the line, and it's going to be caught over there by the shortstop, Ernesto Rios. And there's one down. You know, I committed to eating one hot dog per game. After the Sterling game, I had to eat 2 hot dogs for another game, and then I was out in the outfield for the game against Fort Morgan.
Right fielder number 24.
I'd have to eat 2 hot dogs today, but
Rule.
I can barely fit in this thing as tight as it is. It's actually got space, but when the wind is blowing, Carson Rule takes a strike. No balls and 1 strike. The pot is definitely big enough. Carson Rule is hitting 174. And the offering. And that is outside. Took something off it. And the count levels at 1-1. David King works quickly. And the pitch. Fastball is upstairs. Ball 2, strike 1. Yeah, thanks again to Abby and Sumner Rule. Very fitting that somebody whose name is almost my favorite season first name in Sumner was able to get me something like this, knowing that I needed wind protection. And the fastball swung on and missed on the inside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's one of the greatest things I've ever gotten in my life, actually. Please don't tell that to my wife. 2-2 pitch. Up and in with a heater. Ball 3, strike 2. 1 down, bottom of the first inning. Platte Valley did not score in the top of the first. Line and pitch. Swung on and foul straight back. Count remains at 3-2 to Carson Rule. And the pitch. And that's up and in. It's going to be a walk.
Here we go.
Up to bat, third baseman, number 15, Ben Garrett.
And that'll bring up Ben Garrett, the sophomore third baseman. Boy, he's had a good season since coming on. Not only does he have a win on the hill, hitting .455. And a pitch. And that's a strike on the inside corner with a fastball. Took a little bit off it. No balls and 1 strike. The stretch. Long pause in the offering, and that's down and in. Count at 1-1. Now, I also know that I'm sitting in this thing with the back is to my right side, so I'm not exactly utilizing this correctly. The back should be the other way, but I kind of like the way I have this thing set up, so I'm good. 1 ball, 1 strike, the pitch, and that is inside, another heater. Ball 2, strike 1. 1 on, 1 out, bottom of the first inning, no score. Here's the stretch by David King. Long pause, and he steps off. We'll have the Pacers and Nuggets coming up tonight after this game. 2 balls, 1 strike. And the pitch swung on. That's chopped to the left side. Third baseman goes to second throw, and he dropped the ball. Oh, boy, that was a perfect throw there. And that'll be an error on the second baseman, Brandon Curbs. Smith threw it right into the glove of Curbs. He didn't look it in. And the Bee-Diggers benefit from an error.
Pitcher, number 14, Gunnar Guzman.
So Gunnar Guzman now hits. That's the first error of the game. And Guzman's been swinging a pretty good bat here, batting .312. Has the lone homer for the Bee-Diggers on the season. 2 on, 1 out, bottom 1. Awaiting the pitch, and here it is. And that's in the dirt, blocked nicely there by Whittick. 1 ball and no strikes.
Hello. How are you?
1-0 here to Gunnar Guzman. Looking back, and the offering. Fastball is high. Yeah, the B-Diggers can pull off this win. Not only would it be their 3rd in a row, but they'll be going up in the RPI. Again, Platte Valley 7th in the RPI going in. The B-Diggers are number 28. And Brush with several opportunities to elevate their standing. The pitch, up and in again. 3 balls and no strikes, and the catcher, Whittick, will run out to his pitcher, King. You can find AC Ice at any local grocery or convenience store near you. That's AC Ice. 3 balls and no strikes. To Gunnar Guzman at second is Carson Rule. He walked, and Ben Garrett reached on an error. And the 3-0, and that's down the middle for a strike. Took something off it at the knees. 20 pitches thrown by King, 10 strikes and 10 balls. Again, stretching is King. And the offering. Swung on. That ball is lined and caught by the shortstop, Rios. He'll step on the bag and double up Carson Rule. And Rule had no shot there. That's not bad base running. That's just bad luck for the B-Diggers. And it's a double play to end this bottom of the 1st inning. No runs for the B-Diggers. No hits. There was an error and a man left. Let's head to the 2nd. No score in Brush between the B-Diggers and Platte Valley Broncos here on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran back at Sunset Baseball Field in Brush on a tropical day. Well, actually, that's just for me. No score. Yeah, this might be one of the greatest inventions ever. It's better than the internet at this point, at any point. All right, batting against Gunnar Guzman here in the 2nd will be the heart of the order.
Leading off the top of the 2nd, number 34, David King.
4, 5, and 6. You just heard it there for the PA. David King, the right-handed hitting pitcher. And the pitch swung on and popped foul out of play to the screen. No balls and 1 strike. Gunnar Guzman gets the sign. And the pitch swung on. That ball is hit on the ground for a base hit into left field. David King took a changeup and was able to pull it for a base hit. And Platte Valley has the first hit of the game on either side.
Up to bat, number 13, Logan Whittick.
Here is Logan Whittick, the catcher. Let's see if Platte Valley plays some small ball here. Hitting with an open stance from the right side. 2-step lead at first, the pitch. And that changeup is a strike. Just above belt level, it's 0-1. Guzman had a little bit of a jam in the first, but it wasn't much. He got a key 2-0 pitch that got things going. Swung on. That ball is grounded to third. Garrett to second. That's going to be offline, but stepping on the bag is going to be David Wolf, and he made the right play. Ben Garrett has struggled with that throw a couple of times already. Not in this game, but again, just get the 1 out, and that's what the B-Diggers did, and Garrett's got an excellent glove. Just wants to make those throws more accurate.
Up to bat, number 6, Hunter Thorne.
But there is 1 down. That's the big thing. They got the out there. Hunter Thorne will now step in. And the pitch. Swing and a miss and a changeup down and in. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, as you get older, normally the infielders are taught to throw from 2 different angles. A little bit of a sidearm angle can help as well. The pitch swung on and lifted to right field. That ball is carrying towards Carson Rule, now drifting to his left, makes the catch as he came in a couple of steps. And there are 2 down here in the top of the 2nd inning. So again, Guzman now pitching to contact. He's recorded 5 outs over the last 12 pitches. And here's the right-handed hitting Travis Hecht.
Up to bat, number 21, Travis Hecht.
2 outs and 1 on here in the top of the second inning. No score. In a very critical game for Brush. Keep that momentum going. And the pitch. That's a strike. Runner going to second. The throw is on line, but the B-Diggers got there late. The shortstop, Jade Queen, looked like he was a little bit late in covering. So it's going to be a stolen base.
Hey, nice throw, call it.
No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, that throw was on line, but maybe some miscommunication there. And the offering. Swung on. That ball is lifted towards right center field. The right fielder, Carson Rule, to his right, makes the grab. And Platte Valley does not score in the second. No runs on 1 hit. No errors. And 1 man left. Let's head to the bottom of the second. Still no score between Platte Valley and Brush in Brush on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
Leading off the bottom of the second, catcher, number 5, Colin Cole.
Well, there you go here. No score between Brush and Platte Valley. Live from Sunset Baseball Field in Brush, I'm John Beltran. Colin Cole is hitting .267. And he takes a changeup for a strike. Leads the team in walks with 7. So his on-base percentage much higher than .267 against the right-hander David King. And the offering. Swung on and fisted down the right side. That one is twisting into foul territory. And it's 0-2 to Colin Cole. It'll be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for Brush in the bottom of the second inning. Hunter Ludgate, who had a huge game against Resurrection Christian, will follow, and then Bryson Wooldridge. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the wind and pitch, and that's outside off the glove of the catcher, Wittick to the screen. Looked like he got crossed up. Ball 1, strike 2. The B-Diggers will not play a home game until a week from Thursday against Yuma. They got 2 road games in between. Saturday against Faith Christian, Tuesday against Sterling. Swing and a miss and a fastball in the inner half. And that's a strikeout of Colin Cole. There's 1 down. Yeah, Colin looked like he was expecting something off speed, and it caught him by surprise. Here's Hunter Ludgate. Ludgate had a huge game, as I mentioned earlier. Against Resurrection Christian, he was on base 5 times. He had 4 walks and a 2-run double, drove in 3. That's double, not double. Here's the wind and the offering, and that's in the dirt with a changeup. 1 ball and no strikes. Cargill Meat Solutions.
Number 40, Hunter Ludgate.
Is committed to feeding the world in a responsible way by reducing environmental impact and improving products and processes. Learn about Cargill's story of commitment. That ball is lined on 1 hop to the second baseman, an easy throw to first, and Brandon Curbs retires Hunter Ludgate. There's 2 down. Ball was hit sharply, but it took a Sunday hop there for Curbs. That'll bring up Bryson Wooldridge.
Up to bat, first baseman, number 1, Bryson Wooldridge.
Wooldridge has been coming around offensively, hitting just .182, but didn't have a hit for a little while, and he fouls it off to the right. No balls and 1 strike. Again, we'll have the Nuggets and Pacers coming up at 6:30 with tip time just after 7 o'clock right here on 1010 KSIR. And then we'll have Rockies and Padres tomorrow night. 3rd of a 4-game set. Tonight they play the 2nd game and the 0-1. And that is low with the off speed. And the count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 here to Wooldridge. The pitch swung on, line towards left field, and it's a base hit beyond the lunging Ernesto Rios. And the B-Diggers have their first hit of the game, a 2-out single by Bryson Wooldridge. And here is Jade Queen. Queen is hitting .333. 5 for
Up
50.
the bat, shortstop, number 10, Jade Queen.
David King looks in. And the offering, and that's down and in. And the ball gets away towards a screen. And to second will be Bryson Wooldridge. That'll be scored a pass ball, so the B-Diggers have a runner in scoring position. With a 1-ball, no strike count, 2 outs, bottom of the second inning, no score between Brush and Platte Valley. Looking back, and the offering, swing and a miss. Count is level at 1-1. Sterling and Valley were supposed to play today. They have postponed that game till tomorrow on 105.7 KPMX and KPMX.com. The stretch. And the 1-1 offering. That's up and in with a fastball. Ball 2, strike 1 to Jade Queen. On deck is Josiah Henry. And the offering. That's a fastball for a strike on the outer half just above the knees. And the count levels at 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The stretch. Looking back and a step off. All right, now King back on the bump. Queen awaits the pitch. Here it is. Curveball is swung on and lined towards left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Wooldridge around third. He will score. And Queen's got a 2-out RBI single here in the bottom of the second inning. And the B-Diggers lead 1-0 over the Platte Valley Broncos. And that was an off-speed pitch. He kept the hands back long enough to drive in his fellow junior teammate. Here's Josiah Henry.
Now up the bat, left fielder, number 28, Josiah Henry.
Henry, the lone freshman in the starting lineup, throw back to first. And back in diving is the speedy Queen. The stretch by King, the pitch. Swung on, line towards right field. That's a base hit. Queen's only going to be able to get the second. But the B-Diggers have their third hit of the inning as Josiah Henry comes through. Now let's see what Justin Griffith can do. Justin Griffith popped to short his first time up.
Up the bat, center fielder, number 2, Justin Griffith.
Here's the stretch. And a step off. Nothing doing there. And again, a snap throw to second this time. Back in diving is Jade Queen. All the damage with 2 down here in the bottom of the second. And the offering. Swung on and popped up into shallow left center field. The shortstop, Rios, now ranging to his right, going back, makes the catch. And that'll end the Brush threat here in the bottom of the second inning. However, the B-Diggers score a run. There were 3 hits in the inning, and they strand a couple. Let's go to the third with the score. Brush 1, Platte Valley nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Let's head to the third inning. Brush 1, Platte Valley nothing. As Gunnar Guzman has thrown 2 very solid innings, allowing just a base hit. The third inning was his undoing at Ken Denver. Let's see if that'll switch around here in Brush. Colby Frias, Joey Smith, and Eric Smith. The 8, 9, and 1 hitters for Platte Valley. The B-Diggers have an RBI single from Jade Queen to account for the scoring.
Up the bat, number 33, Colby Frias.
Gunnar Guzman delivers the pitch right down the middle for a strike on the off-speed. No balls and 1 strike. Guzman had 6 balls and 1 strike at one point, and now, since then, has thrown 13 of his last 14 pitches for strikes, including that one line towards center field. Justin Griffith coming on, dives, and he makes the catch. Justin Griffith with a catch right off the ground to his right, and there's 1 down. Well, that's the way you preserve lead. Some great defense there, and Griffith read it right off the
Now
bat.
at the bat, number 8, Joey Smith.
Here's the right-handed hitting Joey Smith with one down in the third. Wine and Offering. Swing and a miss out in front of the changeup. No balls and one strike. I think Gunnar just needed to get that first out. He's in a rhythm, the Offering. Fastball is upstairs. Count is at 1-1. That B-Digger run driven in by Jade Queen, brought to you by Western Engineering Consultants, providing civil engineering services. Swung on and grounded as short, and charging is Queen. He sets, he throws to first low, and it's dug out by Wooldridge for the out. And there's 2 down. Here comes the other Smith, Eric Smith.
Up the bat, number 2, Eric Smith.
Western Engineering providing civil engineering services for aviation, municipal, commercial, and residential clients in Colorado. Western Engineering Consultants. 2 down for Eric Smith, and the pitch swung on and hit slowly on the ground on the right side. The second baseman Wolf to his left. He slings it to first low, and it's not dug out by Wooldridge, but that'll be a base hit anyway. That ball is hit so slowly that even a perfect throw does not get Eric Smith. It's the second hit of the game for Platte Valley as they keep the inning going. And that's a really good changeup there thrown by Gunnar
Now
Guzman.
at the bat, number 3, Brandon Curbs.
Brandon Curbs popped to left his first time up. Step off by Guzman. The B-Diggers up by a run in the third. Snap throw to first, and back and diving is Eric Smith. Oh, that was a close play there. Guzman gets the sign from Cole. And the pitch swung on, chopped slowly. Foul down the third base side with a runner going. Eric Smith has got tons of speed. It's no balls and one strike. Oh, and 1 here to Eric Smith. Or check that to Brandon Curbs. With Smith at first. Throw to first, and that one's close, but back in diving. I think the throw was there, but tag was a little bit high, too. And if the throw had been lower, it would have been a bang-bang play. I think Guzman wants the appeal for the umpire, but yeah, I think he got back in. I think that tag was too high. The throw was certainly there. The pitch runner going. That's taken for a strike. No throw by Cole. It'll be a stolen base for Eric Smith and a runner in scoring position with 2 strikes and 2 outs here in the third. Let's see if Guzman can throw another money pitch here to induce a pop-up. The Offering went behind him, tried to throw a breaking ball, didn't do anything but stay behind the hitter. 1 ball and 2 strikes. On deck is Ernesto Rios. The B-Diggers scored their run with 2 outs, and it was a complete 2-out rally. Platte Valley looking to do the same. The pitch, that is outside. Ball 2, strike 2. The B-Diggers began the season at 0-5, but have rattled off 2 wins in a row. The stretch and the 2-2. Swung on, chop foul up the third base side again on a changeup, dropping out of the zone. That's the key to a good pitcher and good pitches. They appear as strikes, and then they drop out of the zone. His older brother Nico Guzman had a devastating changeup, especially his senior year. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, a man at second in the third. And the pitch swung on and popped foul. That's headed out of play on the right side. That wind, that crosswind, just taking it well out of play. It remains at 2-2. Yeah, that's what was encouraging about Brush's run. They really had to earn that baby. Again, we'll see a 2-2 pitch here to Curbs. Guzman delivers. Swung on, line caught by the third baseman, Ben Garrett. And that's it in the top of the third. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. We'll head to the bottom of the third in 1 minute with the score. Brush 1, Platte Valley nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Let's go to the bottom of the third inning. Brush 1, Platte Valley nothing. Carson Rule, Ben Garrett, and Gunnar Guzman for the Bee Diggers against right-hander David King. Those
Leading
are
off the bottom
scheduled
of the
hitters.
third, right fielder number 24, Carson Rule.
Rule walked in the first inning. And the pitch swung on and popped foul out of play off to the right. The first baseman, Thorne, giving chase, but he'll have no play. Both pitchers have been efficient. Guzman more efficient than David King. Rule awaits the 0-1. And here it comes. And he takes a changeup for a strike on the outside corner at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter for Brush here in the bottom of the third inning.
I like that, buddy.
Wind and pitch. That is a call, strike 3. Got him on the outside corner through the heater there. Thigh high, and there's 1 down. That's strikeout number 2 for David King.
Up to bat, third baseman number 15, Ben Garrett.
Ben Garrett reached on an error his first time up. And the offering. That's outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Ben Garrett. The wind and the pitch. Fastball rides inside underneath the elbows. Ball 2 with no strikes to the sophomore third baseman. Transwest Chevrolet Buick serving Northeast Colorado and Fort Morgan and Sterling. Great selection of new and used vehicles. Transwest Chevrolet Buick, that's down and away with a changeup. And it's 3-0 here to Garrett. 1-0 Brush in the bottom of the third inning on Jade Queen's RBI single in the second. Laying down the sign is Whittick. 3-0 pitch. He grooves it in for a strike. On the outer half, it's 3-1. A sunny day, but it's a bone-chilling windy day. The 3-1 pitch. That is on the outside corner with a strike. That time cranked up the heat a little bit. It's 3-2.
We got a battle now.
Ben Garrett awaits the 3-2 pitch. Here it is. Inside, and he walks for the second. Check that. He walks for the first time, but on base for the second time. Here's Gunnar Guzman, who lined
Up to
into a
bat,
double play.
pitcher number 14, Gunnar Guzman.
Guzman hit the ball hard, but again, it turned into a 6 unassisted double play. David King, a big, strong right-hander. Garrett with about a 2.5 to 3 step lead. Throw back to first. Good move over there, but Garrett's back in diving. Guzman awaits. And the offering. Swung on. That ball is lifted to left field. Should be a routine play. Coming in 3 steps. And making the grab is Jaron Albrighton. Back to first is Garrett. There's 2 down in the inning.
Now up to bat, catcher number 5, Colin Cole.
Cole struck out swinging to lead off the second. We're in a pitcher's duel here with the Bee Diggers up 1-0 in the third. Let's see if Garrett is taking off. Well, he nearly tried to take off. And I think Kevin Fergus is asking for a balk. I think he's asking for a balk. He might be given a balk. Here comes the home plate umpire. There was some hesitation. It was not called by the field umpire, but that might turn into a balk, which would place a runner in scoring position. Yep, they're going to give him second. Garrett started taking off prematurely, and as a result of that, the pitcher King got a little bit anxious and faked the throw over to first, and thus committed a balk. So Colin Cole with a chance to drive in a run. As the senior catcher steps in. All right, so Cole digging in. The stretch. Looking back at second. And time is called. Again, Ben Garrett issued a one-out walk, and the benefit of a balk has gotten Ben Garrett to second. And the offering, and that's up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Colin Cole. And the pitch, down and in. Yeah, Cole's been very good at being issued walks this season. And that you might think to yourself, well, you just got to stand there. No, there are players that sometimes should be issued more walks than they are, but they don't swing at the best pitches. So sometimes taking a pitch is as effective as swinging at a good pitch. 2-0. Strike down the middle of the fastball. Ball 2, strike 1. 1-0 Brush. I'm John Beltran here in the bottom of the third inning. In Brush against the Platte Valley Broncos, the 7th team in the RPI in 3A. Swung on and fouled off to the right. Count levels at 2-2. Yeah, Brush led throughout against Fort Morgan and winning 7-5. And then rallied to beat Rez. And that pitch is upstairs. 3-2 to Colin Cole. They were down 3-0 after 2. And then exploded with 10 unanswered runs. And won on Saturday in Loveland 13-7. Garrett at second. And the 3-2 offering. And that's low. It's a changeup that ends up being a walk to Colin Cole. And that will send up Hunter Ludgate, who had a
Up to bat,
hard one-hopper.
number 40, Hunter Ludgate.
His one-hopper was fielded by the second baseman, Curbs. So Ludgate steps in. Well, that looks like Caleb Cox is the courtesy runner for Brush. Again, these Bee Diggers have come back from their trip, have not played in over 2 weeks. But it's a welcome return for all 5 of those Diggers, the stretch. And the offering, and that's taken for a strike with a changeup on the inner half at the knees. No balls and 1 strike. Here to Hunter Ludgate. And stepping off is King. He's been laboring here in the bottom of the third. He's thrown 54 pitches so far. But again, it's a 1-0 Brush lead. The offering swung on and fouled straight back to Ludgate. No balls and 2 strikes. It's a very competitive Patriot League. Sterling, Eaton, University. Platte Valley's off to a good start. Brush is starting to come back. Valley's the defending state champions. I mean, you really don't know who's going to win this league. Again, we'll see an 0-2 here to Ludgate. Runners take their leads. And the pitch upstairs with the off speed. 1-2. Bryson Wooldridge, who began the rally 1 inning ago, is on deck. This is a new rally the Bee Diggers are attempting to take advantage of. The pitch, that is down and away, man. I just missed. It was a little bit outside, but did he call him? Boy, that's a delayed call. I didn't even see that. That's a very, very delayed call. He did not call that right on the pitch.
I don't think he even called it.
All right, for Brush, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left. Let's head to the 4th inning. It's Brush 1 as Ludgate struck out there, although nobody saw it. Platte Valley nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. I'm John Beltran back at Sunset Field in Brush.
Number 4, Ernesto Rios.
The Bee Diggers lead the Platte Valley Broncos 1-0. The shortstop, Rios, stepping in, followed by David King and Logan Whittick against Gunnar Guzman, who's been very effective, just 33 pitches through 3. Has allowed a total of 2 hits. Here's the one in the pitch. In the dirt, bounces off of Cole to the screen. Guzman struggled in the first, but since then has been a strike-throwing machine. And really, the only struggle was to the first couple of hitters. The offering swung on and fouled back. Yeah, if he can get going, if Gunner can put together some excellent starts here, then you've got a really deep pitching staff of Guzman, in no particular order, Guzman, Dunker, Griffith, and Garrett. Here's the wind in the 1-1. Swung on and foul back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here to the opening hitter, the shortstop for Platte Valley, Ernesto Rios, here in the 4th. Heading for the right side. Digging back in. And Gunner delivers. Swung on and fisted down the right field line, foul. Count stays at 1-2. Yeah, that was quite a game 1 year ago. Ryan Fergus went the distance and Kersey and Brush lost 1-0. The Bee Diggers had the unusual situations of winning a 1-0 game and losing a 1-0 game. And both were on the road. They beat Faith Christian 1-0 in 8 innings in Arvada, who they play on Saturday in Arvada. Reason for that is because Brush played Faith Christian 2 years in a row here in 15 and 16, now in 17 and 18 in Arvada to make up for that. And the 1-2. Breaking ball swung on and grounded foul down the third base side. Stays at 1-2 here to Rios. Guzman ready in the pitch, and that ball hit him. Oh boy, tried to get the inside corner, and instead hits a piece of Rios right around that left elbow. All right, so they got a man at first with nobody out for David King. Yeah, Guzman is thinking that he had that corner, and the hitter really did nothing to even try to get out of the way, because it's not like it clipped him hard.
David King.
I mean, that barely got a piece of him. King had one of the 2 hits by Platte Valley so far in the game. 3-step lead. Rios looks like he's taking off. That changeup is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to the opposing pitcher. Stretched by Guzman, the offering runner going. That's taken high and inside. The throw to second, up the second base side. It'll be a stolen base. Therefore, Ernesto Rios. All of a sudden, Platte Valley has the tying run in scoring position. And Rios got a lot of clay in his helmet. I don't know if he slid in correctly. He almost looks like he's banged up out there. All right, so it's 2-0 to King. Got to be careful how you pitch this guy now. The stretch by Gunner and the pitch. Swung on and fouled back. That's a good 2-0. King might have been thinking fastball, but again, he went with the off speed. And he got a piece of the baseball. Ball 2, strike 1. The score is 1-0 Brush over Platte Valley in the top of the 4th. And Guzman delivers. Swung on and fouled off to the right. A late swing. Trying to time out Guzman. It's 2-2. Neither pitcher really has had the strikeout stuff, although David King does have 3 strikeouts for Platte Valley. Guzman does not have a strikeout yet for Brush, and Justin Griffith and Carson Rule did not record a strikeout against Resurrection Christian. It's been 2 games since the Bee Diggers registered a strikeout. And the offering swung on and lifted a shallow right field. Carson Rule coming on, still coming. He's got to play it on 2 hops. It'll be a base hit. And it's now first and third. David King is 2 for 2. Yeah, anytime that ball's hit in the air towards the outfield, you automatically have to race in. And it's not easy to tell how hard a ball is hit.
Number 13, Logan Whittick.
Logan Whittick hit into a fielder's choice, a 5-4 fielder's choice. His first time up, and Platte Valley's threatening to tie the game and perhaps take the lead. Yeah, you've got to react very quickly on those balls, but again, they're not easy to read with a stiff wind. The pitch upstairs, throw towards second. Runner's going to break towards the plate on the back end. An easy stolen base of home, and then the ball skips by Cole to the screen. So we're going to have a double steal and an error on the throw towards the plate. And Platte Valley's tied the game at 1. Yeah, I'm surprised that throw went through to second, because there was no chance to get Whittick. But Rios took off of the back end and scored. Then on the throw home to nail Rios, it's skipped by Cole. And check that, David King, not... it's actually the courtesy runner out there, so let me correct myself. Nonetheless, the game is tied at 1. And the pitch, and that's a strike on the outside corner. And the count is tied, level at 1-1 to Logan Whittick. And the offering, swung on and driven to right field in the air. Carson Rule to his left will make the catch. Runner tagging at third. Throw is caught off by Woolridge. Now the second throw to the plate, and the runner is out! Easily at the plate. And that'll go 9 to 3-2. And I don't have that player on my roster here.
Now to bat, number 6,
1.
Hunter Thorne.
But nonetheless, it's a double play. And a big play, and there's 2 down. Hunter Thorne will now step in. Oh, that's a perfect cutoff there by Woolridge. He had the time, and the pitch is a ball. Hunter Thorne popped out his first time up to the right fielder Rule. So we're tied at 1, but it could have been worse. Rush is still not out of this, though, with the bases empty. And that changeup a strike on the inner half of the knees. The count is leveled at 1-1. That ball looked initially like it was deep enough to score the base runner, the courtesy runner from third, but boy, he was out by a mile as Cole applied the tag. Swing and a miss out in front of the changeup. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Hunter Thorne. Coming up unofficially will be pitch number 50 by Gunnar Guzman. We're 2 down in the 4th inning. Here's the wind by the senior, and the offering high. Went with a fastball that time, popped the glove of Cole, but overthrew it, and the count levels at 2-2. Just past the top of the hour, this is 1010 KSIR. Brush, Fort Morgan, Waldona. Also at KSIR.com. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, grounded left side, and that is going to be caught. That was caught in the air. I thought that might have been a ground ball, but Ben Garrett to his left snags it right off the ground. That's a line drive caught by the third baseman, Ben Garrett, to end the threat. However, Platte Valley does score in the inning as they were able to generate a run. They had a couple of hits. There was a beat digger error, and nobody left. To the bottom of the 4th after the break. Brush 1, Platte Valley 1 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Bryson Woolridge leads off the 4th and takes a changeup for a strike from the right-hander David King. Brush 1, Platte Valley 1. In this 4th inning. And the offering, and that's low. Woolridge singled and scored the lone brush run in the 2nd. On the single from Jade Queen, who is on deck. And the right-hander delivers. Swung on and fouled off to the right. One ball and 2 strikes here to Bryson Woolridge, the leadoff hitter for Brush in the 4th. Laying down the sign is Whittick. Woolridge awaits, and that's upstairs. Count levels at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, we'll have the Bee Diggers coming up on Saturday morning, 11 o'clock. The weather's going to be bad on Friday. Hopefully, it'll be playable in Arvada. 2-2. Swung on and lifted towards right field. Should be a routine play. Coming in 5 steps and making the one-handed grab is Joey Smith for the out. And Woolridge is retired, and he's now 1 for 2. It'll send up Jade Queen. 1 for 1. Swung a very good bat for Brush. Now 6 out of 16. 375 on the year. And the pitch. That's a strike. Outside corner with a heater. No balls and 1 strike. This could be reduced to a 3-inning game.
Now batting, shortstop number 10, Jade Queen.
And the offering. That's fouled off to the right. Late swing. Levels the count at, or check that, it's 0-2. He wanted it level, but now he's down. No balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch, and that's in the dirt. 1-2. 1 run for Brush on 3 hits, 1 run for Platte Valley on 3 hits. Both teams have committed an error. The Broncos have stranded 2. The Bee Diggers have left 5 on the base paths. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, grounded weakly to second. Curbs to his right. Has it play off the bottom of his glove. Picks it up. He'll have no play. Man, that hop could not have been much better for Brandon Curbs, but that's his second error, and both errors were rather routine. 1 on what could have been the front end of a double
Now
play.
batting, left fielder, number 28, Josiah Henry.
And when he dropped the ball, and then that one on a grounder to his right, Josiah Henry singled his first time up. 2-step lead at first. David King's got a good move. Queen's got a lot of speed. And the pitch. That's a strike on the outer half at the knees on that changeup. It's 0-1. The game exactly 1 hour old here in Brush. And King looks in. Long pause, the pitch. Runner going, the changeup is low and in to throw to second and a hop to slide, and he is safe. Yeah, Jade Queen did beat it. Tag applied there by the second baseman, Curbs, and the throw was right there from Wittig, but Queen again with lots of speed, leading the team in stolen bases, is in there in scoring position. Now Henry went the other way. He's got a huge gap to right field. And knowing that, I don't know why the second baseman Curbs is playing so close to the bag. Pitch to Henry, and he swings and fouls it off to the right. He was trying to go that way. Count is at 1 ball and 2 strikes. With Justin Griffith waiting to hit next. Off of second is Queen. Tied at 1 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Long pause. And the pitch, runner going to third, swung on, fisted right back to the mound. King will throw to first with a runner already at third, and there are 2 down. And that really got in on the right-handed hitting left fielder for
Now
Brush.
to bat, center fielder, number 2, Justin Griffith.
Griffith wants to hit the ball on the ground. He's popped to the shortstop twice. Boy, you know what? This would be a perfect time for a bunt. You got a right-handed pitcher. Third baseman is playing maybe a step in. Speed all over the place. The pitch up and away with a changeup. And Griffith is a very, very good hitter, and I know he wants to go the other way. If he can just poke it on the ground, doesn't have to be a bunt, but just something on the ground, he's got major speed. And the 1-0 offering, and he takes a strike. Outside corner. Got some heat behind that. David King did, and the count is level at 1-1. Setting up on the outside corner is the catcher Wittig. Swung on, that's lifted towards left field, and that might find a gap to his left, and diving and making the catch is Jaron. Oh, no, the ball is dropped out there. I thought he had it in his glove. And it's a base hit for Justin Griffith. I thought it was in his glove, but it was not. It's a base hit. Griffith drives in the run, and the Bee Diggers lead 2-1. I saw the body language out there. Wow, that was close. I thought it was
Now to bat,
right
right
in the
fielder,
glove.
number 24, Carson Rule.
Here's Carson Rule. Walked and struck out looking. I really thought he had that ball. And we're a distance away. Hey, but the important thing, the Bee Diggers have scored a second run in this game with a 2-out hit. And this time it came from Justin Griffith. Rule officially at 0 for 1, and Griffith has speed over there. Throw back to first, and then fairly close. Oh, they got him! Wow! Kevin Fergus cannot believe that, and I think that is not a good call. I mean, that was a high tag, and Kevin Fergus not happy with that. And I don't blame him. But picked off is Justin Griffith. Man, we've seen a couple of calls, one behind the plate that wasn't made for a strikeout, and the other one there that also went against Brush. But the Bee Diggers do have the lead. They score a run on a base hit by Justin Griffith. 1 error, and the bases were left empty. 4 innings complete. Brush 2, Platte Valley 1 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. All right, the Bee Diggers have some changes defensively. Nick Wellen is now the shortstop as they lead 2-1 in the 5th inning. Caleb Cox is now in second base.
Leading off the top of the 5th, number 21, Travis Hecht.
Jade Queen is now in left. And those appear to be all the changes for the Bee Diggers, and yep, that's it. Brush just grabbed a 2-1 lead on a base hit from Justin Griffith. And Coach Fergus making sure that for the home plate umpire, he knows of the changes. Gunnar Guzman has thrown 51 pitches unofficially through 4. And has really pitched to contact. Got a 2-1 strike to ball ratio, 34 strikes and 17 balls.
You got him? Okay. I put Nick in the 9 spot. Nick in the 9.
So here we go with Travis Hecht, Colby Frias, and Joey Smith, bottom of the order, 7, 8, and 9. Hecht popped to the right fielder, Carson Rule, his first time up. Now they're going through the changes on the first base side. Why don't they do this between innings? I mean, anyway, just a question. I'm not cranky. I'm happy. I'm inside of the weather pod, thanks to Abby and Sumner Rule. Groceries, fresh cut meat and deli items, Floral Pharmacy, Western Union, Public Service Payments, 24-hour gas. Brush Grocery Cart, your one-stop shop, 1302 West Edison Street in Brush. All right, now all the changes have been noted. They still use a paper scorecard, as the umpires do. And Gunnar Guzman begins the 5th with a pitch up and in. 1 ball and no strikes to the number 7 hitter. He has plenty of pitches left to go the distance if that's the game plan. And the 1-0. Up and in again, but he's got to stay in control here. The only time there was significant concern was the beginning of the game. 2-0 pitch right down the middle for a strike. 2-1 here to Hecht. Guzman has allowed just 3 hits. One of those was an infield hit. And the offering swung on. That ball is hit on the right side on one hop to Woolridge. He steps in the bag as the first baseman completes the out and retires Hecht. There's 1 down. 1 down here for the number 8 hitter, Colby Frias, who lined to the center fielder Griffith. That was a big play that Griffith
Now
made.
to bat, number 33, Colby Frias.
Righty against righty.
Yep.
And the offering. And the breaking ball is a strike, man. That's one of the best pitches he's thrown. I saw that pitch and said, boy, that's going to hit the batter. Because Guzman hasn't thrown too many curveballs in this game, but that was unleashed beautifully. And the 0-1 swung on and chopped left side along the line and dribbling foul. No balls and 2 strikes. And that's 4 consecutive strikes thrown by Guzman, back in that 2-1 strike to ball ratio. And it is 2-1 Brush in the 5th inning. An RBI single from Jade Quinn in the 2nd. And a double steal for Platte Valley. Ernesto Rios scored in the 4th, and Justin Griffith hit a line drive that was nearly snagged by the left fielder for Platte Valley, but it was a base hit to score the run. That breaking ball went behind him. So he went from his best curveball to his worst there. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out and the bases empty in the 5th inning. And Guzman delivers. Swung on, line toward shallow right field. That's a base hit. The 4th hit of the game for Platte Valley. On a flare to right field. And Joey Smith, who grounded to short his first time up, will now step inside the batter's box.
Up to bat, number 8, Joey Smith.
Well, Frias not with a ton of speed, so if something sharp is hit, maybe with a double play, and that one bounces in. But then again, that's the runner, not the hitter. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Joey Smith with Eric Smith waiting to hit next. Free is off of first, a 2-step lead. Guzman delivers, and that is low and away with a changeup. 2-0 to the number 9 hitter. Getting into dangerous territory, but he's been in this spot a few other times in this game and has thrown a strike. And he does it again. Outside corner. Put some heat behind that. 2 balls and 1 strike to Joey Smith. Colin Cole lays down the sign. Guzman comes home, squaring to bunt, and he fouls it to the screen. And it's 2-2. This is a huge turnaround for Guzman. After his struggles against Eaton with all those walks, he has pitched brilliantly in this game. 2-2 to Smith. The pitch. Swung on, grounded to Guzman. Guzman looks, throws to second for 1, well into first. That's 2. It's a 1-6-3 double play. And that does it for Platte Valley in the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the bases were left empty. To the bottom of the 5th after the break, it's Brush 2, Platte Valley 1 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. 2, 3, and 4 for the B-Diggers coming up at the bottom of the 5th inning. I'm John Beltran from Sunset Baseball Field, where Brush is in the lead 2-1 over Platte Valley. Isaac D. Herrera will be the hitter for Brush to begin this frame. The sun has been scorching the entire game.
Number 22, Isaac D. Herrera.
You'd think it'd be about 80 degrees here, but not so. Tomorrow, much warmer. The pitch. David King throws it up and in. D. Herrera was on that trip as well. Before the trip, hitting .333. So he's been productive. The pitch to the senior is taken for a strike on the outer half, knee level, and the count is at 1-1. That was pitch number 75 unofficially for David King. And the offering swung on and lifted towards right field. It's got some carry. Joey Smith to his left. He's going to make the catch. The ball is being knocked down by the wind, and there's 1 down.
Now up to bat, third baseman, number 15, Ben Garrett.
Ben Garrett has been on base twice. Reached on an error his first time up, then walked. With an open stance from the right side. And the offering, fastball, is a ball. Just off the corner, 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch from David King. Swung on and fouled back, went with a breaking ball there. And Garrett got under the baseball, that is 1-1.
Come on, kid.
This has been close throughout. B-Diggers took a 1-0 lead in the second. Both teams tallied 1 in the fourth. And the 1-1 upstairs with a fastball. Ball 2, strike 1. Plenty of Morgan County baseball coming up, not only right here on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com, but Fort Morgan baseball tomorrow on B106 and B106.com at 6 o'clock. They'll be in Keensburg against Weld Central. And that pitch is down at the ankles, 3-1 to Ben Garrett. And the offering, that's right there, grooved it in for a strike down the middle.
Don't give up on that.
3-2. Garrett stays in that box. He doesn't walk in and out of the box. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and fisted foul to the right and out of play. Just fought off that pitch. Stays at 3-2. Well, the B-Diggers could sure use a run just to give them some breathing room. And the payoff. Swung on, line towards right field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. The throw will be made to first, but late over there by Joey Smith. Garrett didn't take the turn. He was running down the line as that was a ground ball to the infield.
Number 14, Gunnar Guzman.
Yeah, he was going all the way down that line without taking a turn. 5th hit for the B-Diggers. Gunnar Guzman has lined out and popped out, both on the left side. He's 0 for 2. The stretch from David King. The pitch from David King. Up and in with a heater. 1 ball and no strikes. Right on top of the action here. You can hear that glove pop very nicely here in Brush. The stretch still back to first, back in diving is Garrett. He's making sure there after what happened earlier with a base runner being picked off. From breakfast and snacks to perfectly brewed coffee and teas, even gift items, Willow Coffee and Bake Shop. 921 Edison Street in Brush. Ground to the shortstop, Rios to second for 1. Curbs back to first, and that's a 6-4-3 double play. And that does it for the Bee Diggers in the 5th inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and the bases were left empty. After 5, it's Brush 2, Platte Valley 1 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Let's head to the 6th inning. The Bee Diggers lead the Platte Valley Broncos 2-1 in Brush. Gunnar Guzman with his longest outing of the season. He'd like to get 6 more outs and preserve this win, which would be Brush's 3rd consecutive victory. And coming up for Platte Valley, it'll be the top of the order, Eric Smith, followed by Brandon Curbs and Ernesto Rios. So he has to go through the heart of the order at least one more time. And getting Smith out is going to be the biggest chore. He's walked and singled. So he's 1 for 1 in his 3rd plate appearance. And he's the only lefty in this lineup. So here we go to begin the 6th inning. I can't tell you, I think somebody approached
Leading
me.
off the top of the 6th inning, number 2, Eric Smith.
I think they approached me like I was looking claustrophobic in here, but when I was single, my apartment, I think, was smaller than this. I mean, this is enough room. I looked cramped, but there's a cement block in here to hold down the weight from the wind. Here's Smith. The wind by Guzman, the pitch. Squaring to bunt, it's in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. 65 pitches unofficially for Guzman. The senior right-hander gets the sign and the offering, and that's a strike on the outside corner. Bell tie with a changeup. Count levels at 1-1. One of the keys to this game is that the Bee Diggers have committed just 1 error. They've had so many games with 4 and 5 errors. The offering swung on and chopped on the right side. First baseman Woolridge has it go off his glove, and he was hesitant whether to go for the ball or go back to first. And Smith is going to reach. No, that's a
Now
tough
to
one.
bat, number 3, Brandon Curbs.
I'm going to score that an error. He extended himself a bit. That's a tough error to call, but I'm going to call it an error. He committed to that ball and had a shot to make the play. Here's Brandon Curbs, who popped out and lined out. Runner could be going on this pitch. Long pause by Guzman and a step off as Smith has to go back to first. I'm telling you, you're Guzman. You've got to maybe throw over a couple times at least for Smith because he wants to take off on the first pitch. I mean, there's no doubt he's looking to run. He doesn't even wait for the second pitch. He wants to get into scoring position. That's a short lead throw back to first. Back in diving is Smith. Yeah, this is the tough part of the lineup because you have speed on the bases. And a lot of solid contact hitters coming up. A 3-step lead. The offering swung on and popped up in a shallow left center field. Long run for Griffith. Still coming. Makes the running catch. He might have a play towards first to throw. And Woolridge was off the bag. And then the ball goes underneath his glove to the screen. He had to come off the bag because it was a little bit short of the target. But back to first safely is Smith. And there's 1 down. Yeah, the one thing you want to do if you're Woolridge is stay on the bag.
Now to bat, number 4, Ernesto Rios.
Because he wasn't going to tag him there, but there was a shot at first, and Smith was nearly doubled up. 1 down for Ernesto Rios, who scored Platte Valley's only run. Rios popped to the center fielder Griffith and was hit by a pitch. 2-1 Brush, leading Platte Valley in the top of the 6th inning. The stretch by Guzman, huge lead over there. He's going to throw over there. Nope, he's going to come home. Big leg kick, and that pitch is up and in. That's going to be an easy steal. There's no play there. Another stolen base for Eric Smith. So you'll have Rios and perhaps David King up there with opportunities to tie the game. 1 ball and no strikes. You got to watch out for Smith, perhaps stealing third as well. Cole lays down the sign and the 1-0. That's a fastball for a strike down the middle. Thigh high, and the count is leveled at 1 ball and 1 strike. The Bay Diggers scored their runs in the 2nd and 4th innings. Platte Valley with a run in the 4th as well. And the 1-1, and that is a fastball just outside, barely missed. 2-1, and Guzman popped the glove on those last 2 pitches. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on in the 6th inning. The pitch, swing and a miss, tied him up there. And Gunner's reaching back for a little extra. It's 2-2. That fastball's looking better because of the effectiveness of his changeup. He does not have a strikeout in the game. It would be perfect timing for one right now. The stretch, 2-2. Swung on and fouled back. Just stayed alive. Remains at 2-2. Here to Ernesto Rios. Gunner looks in again. Big lead at 2nd for Smith, about 4 steps. And the pitch. Oh, he bounced it in. Cole blocks it beautifully. Boy, that one got stuck in Guzman's hand. Got stuck in his fingers. Now it'll be a full count. Justin Griffith closed out the game against Fort Morgan. Carson Rule closed it out against Resurrection Christian. But we're only in the 6th inning here with Brush up 2-1. And 3-2 with David King, who has 2 hits in the game, in the on-deck circle. All right, Gunner settles back on the rubber, the stretch. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and chopped on a high hop over the third baseman into left field for a base hit. Rounding third and scoring easily is Eric Smith. Now into second is Rios. It's an RBI double. Ball gets loose up the third base side in foul territory. But the game is tied at 2, and nothing Ben Garrett could do there. That was a high chopper down the third baseline. And it results in a double. And that'll send up David King a visit to the hill now. David King, as I mentioned, has singled twice. And regardless of what happens in this inning, Guzman's thrown a terrific game. And that's why you got to get the critical outs like the leadoff hitter this inning, which went off to first baseman Wooldridge's glove and kind of set the tone for the frame. Make Stubbs Gas and Oil your next stop heading out of town. During your visit, you can gas up your vehicle, sit down to lunch, get snacks and your hunting and fishing licenses. Find everything you need at low prices. Stubbs Gas and Oil. They are in Wiggins. Conversation breaks up. And now a critical juncture in the game with a run
Now
across.
to bat, number 34, David King.
And David King at the plate. And again, the Bee Diggers will reset the defense as Cox is at second, Wellen at short. In the corners are Wooldridge and Garrett. Outfield of Queen in left, Griffith in center, Rule in right. The pitch in the dirt, blocked beautifully by Cole. It's 1-0. One ball and no strikes. And the pitch. That is just outside with a changeup. Tried to spot it. 2 balls and no strikes here to David King. Guzman stretches, and Guzman delivers. Oh, that ball slipped out of his hand to the screen. Well, actually, I don't think it slipped. I think that one got stuck way behind the hitter. The third on the wild pitch is going to be Rios. Now the Beat Digger infield should be playing in. Maybe not on this pitch because I'm not sure King will be swinging away. But you know what? He should be swinging away if they're not playing in on this pitch because a ground ball will score the run. Rios has got a lot of speed over there. 3-0, and that fastball a strike. Down the middle, knee level, it's 3-1. Yeah, I'm surprised they're not playing in all the way across and conceding a run in a 2-2 game. Swung on, that ball is drilled into deep left field. Going way back is Queen, and that is off the bottom of the fence. Scoring is Rios. Around first is King. He's into second with an RBI double. And Platte Valley now leads 3-2 as David King has 3 hits in the game. One of the few mistakes in this game, and now he's got the courtesy runner whose number doesn't match what we have on our roster.
Now up to bat, number 13, Logan Whittick.
Well, the Beat Diggers did trail at 1 point to beat Fort Morgan, trailed against Resurrection Christian, but those were deficits earlier in the game. Logan Whittick takes a fastball for a strike. He is hit into a fielder's choice and popped out. The stretch and the offering, and that changeup bounces away from Cole. That was in the dirt, skips to his right. He flags it down, but now on another wild pitch, another runner to third, and now the infield has to play in. I'm not getting this right now. This is a low-scoring game late, and the infield is back. It's not like Brush has been destroying the ball. They have 5 hits in the game. Platte Valley with 6. When runs are at a premium, normally you'd try to cut off additional runs at the plate, but they're back in the middle, the offering, and that's a strike with a changeup on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Can Guzman induce a pop-up or perhaps pick up his first strikeout? Time is called by Whittick. 2 runs across for Platte Valley here in the 6th inning. And what is a 3-2 Platte Valley lead, their first of the game. And the 1-2. Swung on, that is popped up in the infield. Let's see who calls for it. In foul territory now, the catcher called, dropped the ball. He dropped it, tried to make a basket catch. And the at-bat continues. That will still be scored an error, even though the at-bat continues. And now the errors are plaguing the Beat Diggers. They've committed 3 in the game. I did assign an error there to Wooldridge, although my scorecard is showing 2. Thought we had a third up there right now. Let's see. All right, Whittick up there. And the pitch swung on and grounded right side. Yeah, Cox will have it, but that'll score Rios. He sidearms to first for the out. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not so sure. They could have had a play at the plate there had they been playing in. But nonetheless, Platte Valley accomplishes exactly what they wanted to do.
Hunter Thorne.
And they now lead 4-2. Hunter Thorne is 0 for 2, popped out and lined out. The wind by Guzman, the pitch. Fastball a strike on the inside corner, belt high. It's 0-1. 86 pitches now for Gunner. And by dropping that pop-up, it resulted in a run. And the offering, that's a strike right there. Down the middle, just above knee level, it's 0-2. Here to the number 6 hitter for Platte Valley. Guzman gets the sign and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Boy, pulled the string on that. And Gunnar Guzman picks up his first strikeout, but Platte Valley's in the lead. 3 runs on 2 hits, 2 errors, and the bases were left empty. Let's head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Platte Valley 4, Brush 2 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. For the first time in the game, the Brush Beat Diggers face a deficit. It's 4-2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning against the Platte Valley Broncos. And Brush will have some of their hitters coming up who have not been in the lineup in a while. That Will not be right now, but it will be in the 7th at the very latest.
Leading
As
off
for
the
right
bottom
now,
of the 6th
Colin
inning,
Cole
catcher, number 5, Colin Cole.
will now hit. He'll be followed by Caleb Cox, who will get his first at bat, so Cox will hit in this inning. Wine in the pitch, squaring to bunt, and he lays it down the first base side foul. Not a good pitch to bunt. That was up and in. Cole has struck out and walked. Yeah, that's been the story of his season so far offensively. Lots of walks, and at times, as he did on Saturday when he K'd 3 times against Resurrection Christian, even though he had a couple of at-bats in which he really battled, ended up on the short end. But, boy, his play behind the plate has been fantastic. The 0-1, and that's in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. 5, 6, and 7 for Brush in the bottom of the 6th inning. Platte Valley with a 4-2 lead. Platte Valley going for their 7th win of the year and the offering, and that is, boy, a little bit low. King is not sure where that missed. I don't think the Platte Valley fans thought that was a ball. And then the Bee Diggers might have caught a little break there. 2-1. And King delivers. Swung on and grounded a second. Curbs to his right. He's got it, and he throws to first for the out. Curbs has struggled over there, but that time did make the play to retire Colin Cole. And there's 1 out in the bottom of the 6th
Now
inning.
batting, second baseman, number 20, Caleb Cox.
Caleb Cox will now hit for the first time. Does have 2 doubles on the year, hitting .333 out of the left side. And the right-hander, David King, delivers. That is down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. This is where the Bee Diggers, down by 2, need some experience, and that's what they have with Cox. The wind by King in the pitch, and that's down and in as well on the changeup. 2-0. Now, Cox is used to being near the top of the order where he can work a count. He's going to work a count right now unless he gets a fat one down the middle. 2-0 pitch, and that is a changeup down and away. 3 balls and no strikes. Cox will be taking here with the Bee Diggers down by 2 and 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. The 3-0 is up and away. It's a walk, a 4-pitch walk to Cox. So the tying run is now at the plate.
Now batting, first baseman, number 1, Bryson Wooldridge.
Bryson Wooldridge, who has singled, scored a run, and popped to right. David King has thrown 93 pitches unofficially. 2-step lead for Cox. The pitch inside. That's 5 consecutive balls. Went with the off-speed again. The Bee Diggers, throughout their history, have had so much magic on this field when trailing. They always seem to come back and win these games. 1-0 pitch, and that is upstairs, 2-0. Yeah, it's like the baseball gods all of a sudden take over, and so does the Bee Digger drive. And they get determined in these games to come back. 2-0. And King comes home. Fastball's inside. That's 7 consecutive balls thrown by the right-hander. 3 balls and no strikes. And a hot hitter in Jade Queen is coming up next. Let's see if Wooldridge takes at least 2 pitches here. Well, we'll take at least 1, obviously. Cox with a short lead. 3-0. That's right down the middle, strike 1. Either way, King will not be able to complete this game. He would need Wooldridge to hit into a double play and then throw a very quick 7th inning. 3-1 to Bryson, and that's up and in, and Cox was taking off. Doesn't matter, he slides in, but it's a walk anyway, so no stolen base. And Jade Queen will now come to the plate. Let's see if we do have sort of pitching change, as David King was commanding the strike zone for the most part, but then over the last 2 hitters, through 8 balls in just 1 strike. So King's line is right now 5 1/3 innings. He has issued 5 walks in a game and struck out 3. And he will stay on the hill and throw here to Queen. Well, appears that he will stay on the hill. Let's see what's going on. Oh, they think he might be hurt? Yeah, he's taking additional warm-up pitches, and that would only be because the coach has a concern that perhaps his pitcher is not healthy.
Oh, they took him out, John.
Oh, they did? Okay, my bad. I was looking down. All right, let's take a 1-minute break. Yeah, King has been replaced. Hunter Thorne is now the new pitcher. All right, Hunter Thorne now the new pitcher. We'll come back in 1 minute. Brush trails Platte Valley 4-2 in the 6th inning on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Hunter Thorne, the new pitcher, he's got a similar build to the starter, David Queen. And the fastball is down the middle but low to Ryan Dunker, now hitting in the spot previously occupied by Jade Queen. Dunker on the season hitting an even 300. Had that huge bases clearing triple against Valley in the opener. Runners take their leads. 2 on, 1 out. Fastball is a strike. Runner going to third, and Cox going to be out by a mile. Oh, man, that was not well orchestrated. Did not get a good jump. I'm not sure if that was a design steal right there, as Cox was tagged out over at third base by Eric Smith and gunned down by Logan Whittick. So there's 2 down. And you do have on the back end as swung on and grounded to first. Falling down to the ground is King, but he'll get up and he'll step on the bag for the out. And just like that, a beat digger rally, which looked promising, has come to an end very quickly in the bottom of the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. Let's head to the 7th. The score, Platte Valley 4, Brush 2 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The new pitcher is Jade Queen. Ben Brown is now in left field as Platte Valley leads 4-2 in the 7th. Brush had a 2-1 lead going into the 6th inning, but 2 things have plagued them again. Platte Valley did get a couple of hits, but some miscues and then a caught stealing at third.
Jade on the hill, and then I got Ben replacing Gunner in left field.
You know, you can't have the base running miscues. The Bee Diggers have had that at times throughout the course of the season, and that's what happened in the bottom of the 6th, and the rally was thwarted very quickly by Platte Valley. So now Queen is being called upon to keep this at a 4-2 game. It'll be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters, Travis Hex, Colby Frias, and Joey Smith. One in this game and every game, it's the little things, and Brush was doing the little things correctly until the 6th inning. Now they've got to do everything correctly now in the 7th.
Number 21, Travis Hecht.
The hard-throwing right-hander, the junior Jade Queen, about to deliver here to Hecht. Here's the wind and pitch. Fastball down the middle for a strike. It's 0-1. Gunnar Guzman is the pitcher of record, but pitched very well. Did register a strikeout. That's in the dirt. For Gunnar, he threw 88 pitches unofficially. Walked 1, struck out 1. That's in the dirt again. Allowed 6 hits. And 4 runs, only 2 earned. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here to Travis Hecht to begin the 7th. And the pitch right there for a strike at the knees. Ball 2, strike 2. Queen ready. And he delivers. Swing and a miss. Tied him on the inner half. That's the 2nd strikeout by a Bee Digger pitcher, and there's 1 down. Colorado Plains Medical Center.
Number 33, Colby Frias.
Has experienced physicians and a highly trained surgical team trained in the latest surgical procedures. That's at Colorado Plains Medical Center. Colby Frias lined out and singled. He's 1 for 2. And the pitch. And the breaking ball hit him on the left leg. Second time a Platte Valley Bronco has been hit by a pitch.
Now batting, number 8, Joey Smith.
Joey Smith is grounded out twice. And we're going to have a courtesy runner this time, but let's see if we got him on the roster. Looks like the same guy who was courtesy running for David King. All right, so here comes the 9-hitter, Joey Smith. Against right-hander Jade Queen, 1 on, 1 out in the 7th. Platte Valley with a 4-2 lead. Scoring to Bunna Smith, the pitch. And that ball nearly hit him on the off-speed. 1 ball and no strikes. Jade's got to come all the way through with that arm. He's kind of stopped his motion there a little bit. That's what happens sometimes on those finesse pitches. You don't finish the motion. Your arm stops and you tend to keep it inside. And that time he overdid it. Down and away in the dirt, 2-0. Now you don't want to think about it either. Thinking about it that's going to get you in trouble. 2 balls and no strikes. Platte Valley overtook Brush with 3 runs 1 inning ago. And the offering swung on. That ball is grounded to third. Garrett to second. That's 1. Cox to first. Nope. Won't make the throw. In fact, the ball fell out of his glove. But he did have the ball in his hand. So it should be a 6-4 fielder's choice. It is. And there's 2 down.
Up to bat, number 2, Eric Smith.
Check that, a 5-4 fielder's choice. And here is Eric Smith, who's been a headache for Brush. Walk singled, and then I could have scored it either way in the 6th inning, but Woldridge looked like he had a play to his right, and it went off his glove, so I scored it in error. And the pitch, that's a strike. Belt high with that off speed, it's 0-1. Joey Smith at first with 2 down. He might be taking off here to try to create an insurance run, but he's only got a 2-step lead. And that is off the glove of Cole, but no advance. One with a changeup there. Cole didn't squeeze it, but it's 1 ball, 1 strike, no harm. One and one here to Eric Smith. Again, a 2-step advantage. And the pitch. Swung on and grounded right side. And a nice play by Woldridge to his right. Scoops it off the ground. Steps on the bag. And that's it as Platte Valley is retired in the top of the 7th. Platte Valley does not score. No hits, no errors, and a man left. To the bottom of the 7th we go. Last chance for the Bead Diggers. Platte Valley 4. And the Bead Diggers 2 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Platte Valley leads Brush 4-2 here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Bottom of the
Nick
7th
Wellen.
inning, shortstop, number 21, Nick Wellen.
This is a big spot for Wellen. He is 0 for 9 on the season. So looking for his first hit and has not had an at-bat, obviously, in 5 games. The pitch. And he swings and hits it slowly on the ground to third. That's going to be a tough play. And the throw to first is going to be low, but that's in time. And Wellen is out. Oh, that was a laser thrown over there by the Platte Valley third
center
baseman,
fielder, number 2, Justin Griffith.
Eric Smith, and there's 1 down. That ball was really hit slowly down the third baseline. Justin Griffith is 1 for 3, had an RBI single in the 4th. The pitch. Fastball, a strike. Belt high on the outer half. It's 0-1. This right-hander Thorne is bringing it right now. And the offering. Ooh, that barely missed. He thought he had the outside corner. I thought he did too. 1 ball and 1 strike. Wow. Griffith ready. And the offering. And that's low with a fastball. 2-1. That changed the at-bat. That really did change the at-bat there. 1 down and the base is empty in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the 2-1. That is outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. All the Bead Diggers had the tying run. In fact, they had the go-ahead run on base in the 6th inning. If Griffith reaches, they'll have the tying run at the plate. 3-1. That is outside. And Griffith walks.
Now to bat,
Here comes Carson
right
Rule.
fielder, number 24, Carson Rule.
Carson Rule walked and struck out. He is 0 for 1 in the game. Righty against righty situation with speed at first base. In a 4-2 Platte Valley lead in the 7th. The stretch by Thorne. And the pitch. Fastball is down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Can the Bead Digger magic come through again, as it has so many times throughout the years? Laying down the sign is Whittick. And a 1-0. Swung on and fouled off to the right. Challenged him with a fastball down the middle. Straight up at 6 o'clock here in Morgan County. You are listening to Brush Bead Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR, Brush, Fort Morgan, Otis, as well as KSIR.com. The stretch. And the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled off to the right. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, you know that Thorne's got a good fastball. Got to be on top of it here. The Bead Diggers are being outscored 4-2, being out hit 6-5, and they've committed 1 more error than Platte Valley. And the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, blew a fastball right by Carson Rule, and there's 2 down. And here's Ben Garrett.
Up to bat, third baseman, number 15, Ben Garrett.
Garrett reached on an error his first time up, walked and singled, so he's 1 for 2. He is the tying run. The Bead Diggers only have 1 home run on the year. That was hit by Gunnar Guzman against Fort Morgan. The pitch, fastball, a strike on the outer half. It's 0-1. We'll have the post-game show. Then, of course, just after the bottom of the hour, we'll send you to the Pepsi Center with the Nuggets taking on the Pacers. And the 0-1 fastball, a little bit below the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, Thorne definitely wants those pitches, but he's barely missing. 1 ball, 1 strike, the tying run at the plate. Garrett awaits. Here's the pitch. Fastball is outside. 2-1. Ben Brown is waiting to hit next. Griffith with a short lead. I don't think he's going anywhere, at least via the steal. And the pitch. Swung on and chopped slowly on the left side, rolling along the third base line, and I thought it would hit the batter. It did. Just a foul ball right off the plate, and the hitter. 2-2. Yeah, that got a piece of Garrett. Let's see if Hunter Thorne tries to unleash a heater. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Platte Valley with a 2-run advantage in the 7th. And Garrett will settle back into the box momentarily. Griffith not being held. He can almost take off with a pitch. And he does. That is a called strike 3 on a fastball. And the Platte Valley Broncos win the game by a score of 4-2. In the inning for Brush, no runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. Let's take a 2-minute break. Final score, Platte Valley 4, Brush 2. It's a 2-minute break on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Bead Digger postgame shows brought to you by Mr. D's Ace Farm and Home Center, your headquarters for all your home farm and ranch supplies, from plumbing to feed, with 3 locations to serve you, Sterling, Brush, and Fort Morgan. That is Mr. D's Ace Farm and Home Center. The Platte Valley Broncos defeat the Brush Bead Diggers by a score of 4-2. 4 runs on 6 hits, 2 errors for Platte Valley. They left 3 on base, 2 runs, 5 hits, 3 errors. 7 left on base for Brush. The winning pitcher was the starter, David King. The loss went to Gunnar Guzman. Time of the game, 2 hours and 1 minute. The Bead Diggers grabbed a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 2nd inning on Jade Queen's RBI single. Platte Valley would even it in the 4th, as the back end of a double steal came from Ernesto Rios, but back came the Bead Diggers. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Justin Griffith lined a single with 2 outs into left field for a base hit. And then the top of the 6th inning, when the Bead Diggers committed a couple of errors, Ernesto Rios would hit an RBI double, tying the game at 2. David King would do the same thing on a chopper down the third base line. And then on Logan Whittick's ground out, that made it 4-2. The Bee Diggers did have the go-ahead run at the plate in the 6th inning and the tying run at the plate in the 7th, but nothing doing there for Brush as Platte Valley won the game, and they improved to 7-2 on the year. The Bee Diggers fall to 2-6, and they'll be back at it coming up on Saturday morning at 11 o'clock from Arvada against the Faith Christian Eagles. Thanks to our combination of Ellie and Rose for being the sound engineers and producers today. The Nuggets and Pacers coming up with pregame coverage at the bottom of the hour. I'm John Beltran with a final score from Brush. Platte Valley 4, Brush 2, right here on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.